Blessings and welcome to the Way of Meditation. My name is Daniel Roquillo, and as always, I'm deeply and profoundly grateful that you have found your way here, that you're choosing to join me in a moment of turning within, in a moment of becoming still, in a moment of allowing for peace to emerge from within us, allowing for joy to emerge from within us, allowing for harmony and wholeness to emerge from within us through the tool, through the technique of meditation. The focus of this particular meditation is open and expand. And this has something to do with the fact that sometimes when we are in meditation, our minds tend to contract. We get caught up in thought patterns, in fears and worries and doubts. We get caught up in memories or projections into the future or future tripping. And our vibration lowers. It sinks. And in that sinking of our vibration, the mind consequently contracts. So as we, in a brief moment, move into the meditation, we're going to do so with the focus, with the purpose of continuously seeking to stretch our minds, open our minds, allow them to expand, thus raising our vibration, thus freeing us from whatever stories that we have been previously engaged in, whatever fantasies that we have been believing and buying into about ourselves, about the future, about life. So I actually don't think there's much more to say. So I invite us all to find a way of sitting or moving or lying down. In other words, I invite us to make ourselves comfortable. That was what I was going to say. I invite us to close our outer eyes. I invite us to, if you're not already smiling, I invite us to put a smile on our faces. And this is not only frivolity, but smiling actually sends the signal to the body that all is well, so that the body may begin to relax and begin to produce and distribute these beautiful healing chemicals. I don't know the name of all of them, but they are beautiful and they and they are healing. So even if we perhaps don't have anything in particular to smile about, even if life totally sucks right now, at least if that may be our experience, even then, I invite us to smile. And you may even laugh. That just boosts the production and the distribution of these tonic healing chemicals. And while we have our eyes closed and while we allow that smile to play off of our faces, let's gently tap between our eyebrows to activate that first eye, that third eye, as it's called by some, the spiritual eye, the divine eye. That portal into the eternal, into the infinite, into the divine. So that we may be increasingly open and available to catch that which we cannot really catch with our human senses. So while we tap, our intention is always for us to wake up to who and what I am, or who and what we are. But also in this moment, I invite us to gently repeat to ourselves that all is well, that something wonderful is happening, and that everything is working for the highest good. That all is well, that something wonderful is happening, that everything is working for the highest good. One last time, all is well. Everything is working for the highest good, and something wonderful is happening now, always, forever. So we can release the tapping, invite us to put our hands in our lap, palms and actually thumbs and palms facing upward, and thumbs and middle fingers touching as a sign of receptivity, openness, availability. And as we turn our attention toward the breath, let's be aware that the body is fully capable and able of doing the breathing by itself, so we do not need to make the breathing happen, but merely participate in the breathing as it happens, leaning into, surrendering to that divine intelligence that is the body. Also, we want to be aware that each breath has 4 stages to it. There's the in-breath, the space between in and out breath, the out-breath, and then the space between between out and in-breath. And it is in particular that last stage that we want to be aware of. When the out-breath is released, many of us have a tendency to believe and to perceive that the breath is over, so we sort of relax in that space, which is oftentimes where our attention drifts away from the breath. So we want to be mindful of that space of equilibrium, that space of non-movement, so that we stay with the breath, the full breath. So taking on the feeling tone that all is well, I invite us all to give the peace that follows permission to move us deep, deep, deep into the stillness and into the silence, with the intention to allow our minds to be open, to be expanded, and to open even more and to expand even further. And should our attention drift away from the breath, let's gently and lovingly turn it back to the breath and begin again, reminding ourselves to actually consciously and actively seek to expand our consciousness. So in this moment I invite you to turn your attention toward your mind, and you can perhaps feel or sense or perceive, not physically really, but still with your spiritual senses, you can perhaps perceive the bubble that is your consciousness. Now I know that consciousness is infinite, so it's not really a bubble, but the sphere that is you, the sphere that is your mind. Now I invite you to seek to open that sphere up, to have it increase, to have it expand. And the words that I use for myself is merely open and expand as a reminder for me to allow the mind to open and expand. You can perhaps feel the sense of lightness that sort of emerges. You can perhaps sense not only lightness but brightness, and increasing brightness. And I can't really explain how this works. I just love that sensation. I just love that experience when I come back, reminding myself to open and expand, and something literally happens. I can literally sense a physical shift. Not only a physical shift, but a physical shift. So open and expand. back to the breath. Let's begin again. Let's open and expand. Which in some sense means to release and let go of the thought patterns, whatever problems we were trying to figure out or solve intellectually. To release it all, to let it all go. We can take it back, we can bring it back. We're not tossing it away forever unless we choose to. But for now, let's release and let it go so that we may open and expand, so that we may allow ourselves to be fully anchored and present in the nowness of this moment. Back to the breath. Begin again. Allow your mind to open and expand. Let's come back to the breath and begin again. Opening our minds, allowing them to expand. Let's come back to the breath. Let's open and expand. Let's come back to the breath. Let's begin again. Let's open and expand. come back to the breath. Let's open, expand. Let's come back to the breath. Begin again and open and expand. Let's come back to the breath. Begin again. Open and expand. Let's come back to the breath. Let's begin again. Let's open and expand. Let's come back to the breath. Let's open, let's expand. Beautiful minds. brief moment, move us into a prayer. Invite us all to remain with our eyes closed, still open, available, expanded, so that we may catch the vibration of this prayer, giving it permission to lift us into an even higher vibration. So how grateful I am to be. How grateful I am to be here, to be now, to be me, to be in this space, to be on this path of freedom, this path of awakening, continuously allowing for greater and greater expressions of who and what I am to emerge, releasing and letting go of that which no longer serves. I'm grateful to know and feel that all is well. I'm grateful to know and feel that something wonderful is happening. I'm grateful to know and feel that everything is working for the highest good. And this is so. For this I'm also grateful to know and feel that the only thing that is going on, the only thing that is happening here and now is God and good. I'm grateful for you, for your participation, for your choosing to join me, and for your choosing to sit through this meditation all the way through it, for your willingness to allow for more peace and harmony and joy and wholeness to emerge. From this space of gratitude, I absolutely know and feel that the only thing that is here is God. The only thing that is going on is God. The only thing that is happening is Spirit. And we can call it God. We can call it Spirit. We can call it whatever we want to call it. It is still the only thing that is happening. The one, the whole. Infinite love and infinite peace and infinite joy and harmony, wholeness, abundance. It is all here now, in every now. Always for itself, this loving presence. It's always for itself. Always seeking to come into a greater and grander expressions and revelations of itself. That's completely unable to go against itself, to contradict itself, to compromise itself, to ever diminish or divide itself into parts. And it is always expressing itself perfectly. Always right on time. Never late, never early. No mistakes, no random acts, no serendipity, no coincidences. Always divine and perfect order, always divine and perfect order, always divine perfection. So here I am, and here you are, here we are, one with the one. One with the whole, one with all. Unique, perfect, whole and complete expressions of this, the one. Beautiful emanations of the one. But always one with the one. God is we are. All of God is in us, and all of us are in God. Just like the wave is always one with the ocean, and the sunbeam is always one with the sun. The wave cannot ever be separated from the ocean. The sunbeam cannot ever be separated from the sun. If they were, they would cease to exist. So just like the wave and the sunbeam, we are one with the one. Which means that right here where we are, as God is always for itself, everything is for us. Everything is for us. The only thing, once again, the only thing that is happening here and now is Spirit expressing itself perfectly. perfectly. So I bless each and every single one of us tuning into this space. I bless us knowing that all is well. I bless us knowing that something wonderful is happening. I bless us knowing that everything is working for the highest good. I bless us knowing that we're eternally sourced, fueled, and funded. I bless us knowing that we're eternally sustained and maintained. I bless us knowing that we're eternally guided and moved and led, because we and God are one. Simply because God is, Spirit is. It is being itself. It is doing itself. It is ising itself in us and through us, in us and through our lives and experiences. So for this I give thanks. I give thanks, knowing that this is so. I release the word, knowing that it is done. I allow this doneness to demonstrate and manifest itself here in this dimension. Such ease and grace. So it is, so be it, so shall it be. Amen. And if it feels right, I welcome you to open your eyes. And welcome to the new you. Welcome to the new us. As we are no longer who we used to be. These 20 minutes, 25 minutes, or 30 minutes, or however long has passed since we moved into this meditation. The we that moved in is no more. But a new us has emerged. A more radiant, a more glowing, a more shining, a more loving, a more kind, a more compassionate us. A version of who and what we are. More of who and what we are has emerged. So thank you so much for tuning in, for participating. Until next time. I always used to say I bless our days, and I bless our ways, and I absolutely still do bless that. But I also want to say our goodbyes with much love and light and gratitude. So until the next time. Until the next time. Namaste.